Welcome to our Hall of Fame induction for 2020. I'm Jane Nickel, president of the Park Forest Historical Society. Due to COVID-19, we decided to film our nominators and inductees separately and launch the presentation on YouTube. This is the 26th Annual Hall of Fame induction and 27th Hall of Fame. The Park Forest Historical Society operates the 1950s Park Forest House Museum at 227 Monee Road inside St. Mary's Catholic Church. The museum tour tells the story of how Park Forest came to be. Currently, it is open by appointment only. Contact me via our website or find our number on our Facebook pages for the museum or the society. The museum is decorated with vintage Halloween through November 7th. We should be putting out Thanksgiving decorations just briefly in between, then step back into a 1950s Christmas along with a Hanukkah display. Will be open November 28th to the end of the first week of January. The Society also operates the archive office in St. Mary's. I try to be there Fridays 10 to 12 and can come in by appointment. We thank everyone who helped us meet last year's matching challenge from Village of Park Forest. We've received another matching challenge this year. Please join the Society or renew your membership and watch for our annual fund appeal in November. These funds keep us operating. Please watch our presentation and hear the many things our inductees did to make Park Forest a special place to live.
This past year has been tough on us all, but it is with the deepest regret and sadness that we recognize the passing of a board member on the Park Forest Historical Society, Matt Wenzel. Matt fought with a long battle with cancer, a disease that he battled through his philanthropy long before his own diagnosis and fight. Matt was not only a Park Forest Historical Society board member, but a Steger Police Commissioner, and was responsible for Steger's social media and founder of Steger Days Music, as he helped bring live music to many events in our area. Matt was a political activist, a philanthropist, raising and donating money to many causes, most importantly, those fighting cancer. He was very involved in his church and committed to assisting nonprofit organizations like the Ashley Can Foundation, an organization dedicated to fighting pediatric cancer. With his involvement in activism, he touched so many lives, including our lives. We are grateful we were able to meet Matt and form a relationship that will impact us for the rest of our lives. The way Matt lived his life, both before his diagnosis and during his journey afterwards, just reinforces the importance that it is not how long you live, but how you live that matters. We know you lost your battle to cancer, but you won the game in life. Rest in peace, Matt. Your service and friendship to us will continue and be felt for generations to come. As we, the Park Forest Historical Society, honor the generations who came before us, let us not forget those who passed and that are unable to be present tonight. One of my mentors growing up, Park Forest trustee Katie Armstrong, and June Defoe, who worked for 32 years as the Park Forest School District 163 as a kindergarten teacher. Next to one of the hardest working couples I know, Roy Dillard, and former Park Forest trustee Bonita Dillard, who have been continually dedicated to Park Forest Kiwanis and the youth of our community. Thank you and congratulations. Furthermore, to the dedicated owner of Tower Cleaners in Park Forest and two-time Business Person of the Year, Janet Fiorenzo, thank you for your continued service to our community. In addition, thank you to Park Forest and South Chicago Heights Fire Chief Bruce Ziegle for staying in Park Forest and continuing to develop an amazing fire department even while he retired from the Village of Park Forest. Lastly, a thank you could not suffice the sacrifice given by our last but not least inductee, Ed Fizer. Sergeant Fizer was a dedicated member of the Montford Point Marines and took part of the island hopping campaign in the Pacific during World War II, and came back to Park Forest to raise his family and become chairperson of the Park Forest Veterans Commission. Thank you to all the inductees for providing guidance, passion, mentorship, and love for our residents. And let's all welcome the newest inductees to the Park Forest Historical Society 2020 Hall of Fame. Thank you, and this is Mayor Vanderbilt.
Hi, my name is Benjamin Armstrong. I am the seventh son of Katherine Armstrong, who she's being honored by the Park Forest Historical Society today. My mother was born on a farm in Knox County, Illinois, September 1st, 1925. She was a child of the Great Depression. When she was 5 years old, her father lost his farm to a bank, so they had to move to Galesburg, Illinois, where she grew up. One of her jobs when she was out of high school, one of her first jobs, was working at a soda shop. But when a black soldier who she was going to serve was asked to leave by her boss, she promptly quit, saying she could not work at a place that discriminated. She then went to work at a factory making gas tanks for airplanes so she could earn money to go to college. She went to the University of Illinois, where she met my father and had 10 children, one of them which is whom I am. They lived in 3 post-war planned communities: Levittown, New York, Levittown, Pennsylvania, and Park Forest. They moved here in Park Forest in 1959, where she lived the rest of her life here. During her life, she worked tirelessly to protect this planet from the greed and stupidity of man. She protested war. She supported all pro-environment organizations such as Sahara Club and Greenpeace. She was a village of Park Forest trustee, where she believed in open and honest government. She rode a bicycle all of her life. She never owned a TV. She was a prolific reader, and she wrote countless opinions for local newspapers. She spent most of her time trying to save this planet. Our planet is under siege by man's greed, and if we don't realize this, that this is our only home that we will ever have, we are going to make our blue-green pearl look just like planet Mars forever. And that's what she was all about, trying to save this planet and to protect it from man's stupidity. And she did her best, but this is a lifelong goal for everybody. And that's all I got to say. I would like to accept the award for Park Forest honoring my mother into the Hall of Fame of Park Forest Hall of Fames, because she had done a lot she was a village of trustee, like I said, but she's done a lot of things for the environment and other issues, and she always tried to make our government honest and open. And everybody who was president or trustee before or after her knew her by name and knew that's what she was all about. Thank you.
Good afternoon. I'm Ron Defoe, and my mom, June Defoe, has been inducted into the Park Forest Hall of Fame. On behalf of the Defoe family, I would like to thank the Park Forest Historical Society for this honor. The Defoes moved into their Park Forest home in 1952. Dad, who was a World War II veteran, took a job in Chicago. And Mom, who was a homemaker, stayed at home caring for their 3 little boys. When Bob, her youngest, started school, she decided it was now time to fulfill her lifetime dream to teach kindergarten. In 1954, June started teaching kindergarten for School District 163. She taught at several different schools in the district, including Sauk Trail, Black Hawk, Beacon Hill, and Mohawk. Mom's last 5 years of teaching before she retired was at Mohawk, and one of her fellow teachers was her youngest son, Bob. June taught kindergarten for the district for over 30 years. Mom was also involved in community activities. She taught Sunday school at Hope Lutheran Church and was a den mother for our Cub Scout pack. Her 3 boys participated in Park Forest Little League baseball, and she would volunteer to help out serving pop and candy in the Coke Shack. During their retirement years, Mom and Dad loved to travel. They would go to Door County, Wisconsin, where our family spent many summers camping, and they also traveled to Europe many times as both her parents were born there. June also loved to read. She would go to the Park Forest Library every week to return books and pick up new ones. Mom always enjoyed going to the many different events that Park Forest would offer, whether it was the Lions Pancake Day, Farmers Market, art fairs, and the 4th of July Parade Carnival. She would always have adults stop her and say, "Hi, Mrs. Defoe, you were my kindergarten teacher." Mom always was thrilled that her students, after so many years, still fondly remembered her. Mom's fondest memories were of her family. On March 30th, 1998, she became a grandmother as Amanda was welcomed into our family. Mom lived in our Park Forest family home for 57 years. She loved Park Forest and had great memories of living in a special community.
Hi, my name is Amanda Defoe Mayberry, granddaughter of June Defoe and daughter of Ronald Defoe. On behalf of the Defoe family, I would like to graciously accept June Defoe's award. Again, we would like to thank the Park Forest Historical Society for honoring June Defoe and the rest of the special nominees of 2020.
It is a great honor to introduce you to Anna Bonita Dillard, by the way, who's my grandmother, otherwise known as Bonita. Bonita Dillard has lived in Park Forest for 52 years. She grew up on the south side of Chicago and moved to Markham with her husband Roy when they got married. She wanted to find a good place to raise a family, found Park Forest, and moved here in February of 1968. Bonita quickly got involved with community, her children's school activities. She was a member of the Homemakers and Brownie, Cub Scout and Girl Scout leader, Sunday school teacher, room mother, to name a few. If there was anything her children, Marla and Roderick, were involved in, she was there. This spanned from Hickory Hill, Westwood, Lakewood, Westwood Junior High, and Richie's High School. As her children got older, Bonita became a teacher in School District 170 in Chicago Heights. She has always had a desire to help people of all ages. Bonita became a trustee of the Village of Park Forest in 1999 and served for 14 years until her retirement. According to John Ostenberg, mayor at the time, Bonita is a quiet person, but one who with words carry great weight when they are spoken. That is true on all aspects of her life. Growing up in a family with 11 brothers and sisters, you have to quickly learn how to carry weight. Bonita loves Park Forest and still lives here to this day. It was a great pleasure to present you with the 2020 Park Forest Hall of Fame Award.
Thank you so much for selecting me to be in the Park Forest Hall of Fame. Park Forest has been my home to me and my family for over 52 years. Did you know that? You did? Okay. And it has been my pleasure to serve this wonderful village.
Roy Dillard moved to Park Forest with his wife Bonita and children Marla, Roderick in February of 1968. He laughs when he talks about that adventure, even till this day. Ask him one day about the moving truck getting stuck in the snow. Roy was born and raised on the south side of Chicago and attended Dunbar High School. He loved sports and played on the basketball and football teams. His fondness of sports led him to coach his son's Little League football and basketball teams in the village of Park Forest. Roy always involved in Park Forest activities. He mentored youth and he helped start the Gavin Foundation and establish their annual golf outings. He's just like his wife Bonita, attended and helped every school function that his children were involved in. He was a very involved parent. Roy was the owner of the Midwestern Pest Control and Exterminating business that he started in the 1970s and provided services to the Park Forest as well as the surrounding communities. He gave high school students in Park Forest an opportunity to work with him. He was a volunteer at the Ritchie's High School and was a part of the program in the village of Park Forest to keep the school and the community safe. Roy was a member of the group Fellowship for Action, a group that raised awareness for the need to have a Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. room in Park Forest Freedom Hall in 1974. No matter who you are, if you don't know Roy Dillard, you've probably seen him volunteering in the schools in Park Forest School District 163 or 227, Faith United Church, or the Village Hall. It is with great pleasure to present you the 2020 Park Forest Hall of Fame Award.
First of all, I want to thank the village for their wonderful thought of my family and I. This has been a beautiful, beautiful opportunity to express the feelings of my family and my friends. First of all, I want to be thankful for the fact that my daughter was selected as not the pom-pom girl, but the leader of an all-white band in Park Forest. That was very unusual. It shows that Park Forest has the ability and strength to equalize this whole South suburban area. She was a drum major in an all-white band, and I thought that was totally unusual. Another thought that we had is the fact that I was asked to work with the Dr. Martin Luther King room years ago, and went to the meeting and we discussed the fact that it's going to cost $5,000 to have a Dr. Martin Luther King room in Park Forest. I went back to our regular meeting, which is at the meeting, and I expressed the fact that it was going to cost us $5,000. Myrtle Martin jumps up and says, "Hey, look here, we're going to get $6,000 because we're going to have a party of celebration when this is all over."
Hello, I am Marie Ifolo, Hall of Fame recipient 2013. It is my pleasure to introduce Janet Marie Lisak Fiorenzo. I've known her since she was 6 months old. These are some of her accomplishments. It all started in the fall of 1997. Janet purchased Tower Cleaners, located in Park Forest. She has owned it for 23 years and has become a shining star in the Park Forest community. Janet's constant contributions to the Park Forest community for the last 23 years seems never ending, donating her dry cleaning services with no charge to School District 163, cleaning sweaters for the 8th graders, dresses and tuxedo shirts for the drama group, also cleaning tablecloths for the whole school district. When the School District 163 has the Opera in the Classroom project, Janet provides a pizza lunch for all the students at the dress rehearsal. She also takes care of all the tablecloths for the Park Forest Library and Police Department, also for the local churches and faiths of all denominations. She cleans the altars, linens, and robes. Her generosity seems endless. For the Historical Society, the rugs and dolls, clothes, and the Veterans Closet, the clothing and the bedding are all cleaned complimentary. Janet's passion is making sure her Park Forest community is taken care of. She donates her older orders of clothing and toys to local churches for their clothing and toy drives. She also saves small and larger paper towel rolls for the students in Pat Moore's art classes. She supports the Park Forest Kiwanis Club by helping to sell tickets to their Pancake Day. Janet always participates in the annual Safe Halloween, supports Park Forest Youth Day, St. Irene's, church golfing outing, and their spaghetti dinner and live nativity. Janet is known as the ambassador of goodwill. She is always speaking highly of Park Forest and what a wonderful place to do business in. She wouldn't have made it 23 years if it wasn't business friendly. Janet is a member of the Tallgrass Arts Association and has supported their annual art fund for years. Because of her commitment, excellent to the arts, she was honored in 2015 as the Beaux Arts Ball. In 2016, Tower Cleaners was honored and received an award for SPAA SPA, Speakers, Publishers, and Authors Association. They started a spa theater in Park Forest, and Janet was instrumental helping them get started. For over 20 years, Janet has been a library trustee in the Staker South Chicago Heights Library. She also helps her local Kiwanis Club prepare and distribute Thanksgiving and Christmas baskets for families in need. She has consistently given back to the Park Forest community for 23 years, and it certainly shows. Janet has received the Business Person of the Year in 2009 and recently in 2019. Janet is a wonderful individual and a total asset to the Park Forest Hall of Fame.
I want to give a big thanks to Marie Ifolo for that wonderful introduction. I've known her since I've been 6 months old, and always known her and called her as Aunt Mary. Thank you. What a wonderful introduction. And also big thanks to the Historical Society and the Park Forest Hall of Fame, because they're the ones that are honoring me today and getting me inducted to it. To be chosen for this wonderful honor, you have to give back to your community. And I think it really hit home last fall, and when and a little incident happened with me. Last year in the fall, I received a phone call from Ontario, Canada. And it was from someone called herself named Diane, and she was calling from biotech. And I looked on the phone and I saw Ontario, Canada. I said, Tower Cleaners. I go, do you realize who you're calling? I said, this is Park Forest. This is Tower Cleaners. Just a little cleaners in Park Forest. She said, yeah, I know who I'm calling. And I said, well, where did you get our name and why are you calling here? And she said, well, I looked you up on the reviews and I saw you had 5 stars and you just do wonderful things for the community according to the reviews, and you've been there forever, and I want to send you some tablecloths and some banners to clean. We're having a conference in Washington, D.C. I said, well, this sounds a little strange. I said, if you're having a conference in Washington, D.C., why don't you just send your items to Washington, D.C., pick them up, and then go to your conference? Why are you going to have them stop in Park Forest, get cleaned, and then go to the conference? She said, well, no, because we read about your reviews, and you do a wonderful job, and we chose you. We also have a sister company in University Park, and that's how come we were looking around the area just to see what cleaners were around there, and yours popped up. I said, well, I'm a little hesitant to do this, so let's just, let me just think about this. No, I don't think I should do this. Okay, thank you, though, for calling, and thank you for mentioning me and all the nice things you said. Okay, so life went on. A week went by. All of a sudden, big UPS truck pulls up. He comes in with a huge box. I said, wow, what did I order now? I didn't remember a thing. I didn't remember nothing. And I look on the return label, it says Biotech, Ontario, Canada. I said, oh man, open up the thing. There's Diane's card in there. It says, call me. Please clean our banners and our tablecloth. I said, oh boy. So there I go. I called Diane. I said, Diane, I said I didn't know, I was hesitant to do this. She goes, no, I'm going to give you the credit card number right now. You'll get paid. Please, will you do them? And then we have the prepaid label, and you send them right off to Washington, D.C. I said, what am I going to do? I guess you got me hooked onto it. So there I did. I took care of it, cleaned them, packed them all back up, put them in the box, put the return label, called UPS, picked it up, and off they went. Another very satisfied customer. Then I realized, look, just you do good in one little town, it goes for miles. It goes international. Again, I want to thank you for this lovely honor, and I will cherish it for the rest of my life. Thank you.
Hello everybody, my name is Tom Mick. I'm the village manager for the Village of Park Forest, and I'm in front of you today with the distinct honor and pleasure to offer a nomination for the Park Forest Hall of Fame class of 2020. I worked with Mark Kellogg, who is a Veterans Commissioner, and collaboratively we nominated Ed Fizer to be in the Hall of Fame of Park Forest. A little bit of background on Ed is he grew up in the Bayou down in Louisiana. Across his life, he served our country. He was one of the original Montfort Point Marines, which served with distinction. They were the first African-American brigade or group of Marines, and he excelled at what he did. Coming out of the Marines, he was a member of the Chicago Police Department for many years, so much so in working in community affairs that he was on a first-name basis with Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., which I think is a tremendous legacy. Over the past several years, he's been the chair of the Park Forest Veterans Commission and has been instrumental in a lot of the different things that our community is doing to serve the veterans community. There is so much to say about Ed and what he has achieved in his life. He's currently 95 years old, and I tell everybody I get the chance to that he is my favorite veteran on the face of the earth. It's my distinct pleasure to nominate and to hear that the nomination's been accepted, where Ed will be entering the Park Forest Historical Society's Hall of Fame. Thank you.
Edwin J. Fizer sadly passed away at the age of 95 on October 25th, 2020. Mr. Fizer was honored and very grateful to receive this distinction. On behalf of Edwin J. Fizer, this award is accepted along with his induction into the 2020 Park Forest Hall of Fame.
Hello, I'm Captain Philip Myers with the Park Forest Fire Department, and it is my distinct honor to present retired Fire Chief Bruce Siegel for the Park Forest Hall of Fame. Bruce has been a leader, a mentor, and a friend since my first day starting with the fire department. Bruce was a lieutenant with the department when I started, and someone that I learned early on that I could go to for assistance. He constantly encouraged me and every member of the department to excel and continue to pursue higher education in the fire service. He helped shape my career and guide me to my current position. Chief Ziegle grew up in Park Forest, and he continues to live here with his wife and the home that he raises 2 children in. He graduated from Rich East High School, and even before graduating, he began serving the community of Park Forest, working for the Parks and Recreation Department. He started working in numerous parks programs, and then he became a volunteer with the Park Forest Fire Department. It was at the fire department that he discovered his true passion. For the next 40 years, Bruce would protect the residents of Park Forest. He held every position on the department, from starting as a volunteer to becoming a paid full-time member in 1986, and then moving upward until he achieved the top position as fire chief in 2013, a position he held until his retirement in 2017. During his outstanding career, he obtained numerous certifications and a bachelor's degree in fire management from Southern Illinois University. Bruce became one of the Park Forest's first paramedics in 1980, a certification he held his entire career. He was a recognized instructor and educator, teaching fire-related classes around the region and as an instructor at Prairie State College. One of Bruce's biggest accomplishments, though, was his gift to acquire grants for the fire department. Over his career, he obtained numerous grants responsible for upgrading and keeping the Park Forest Fire Department outfitted with the best equipment in the region. Equipment that the members continue to use long after his retirement. All total, Bruce was able to procure more than $1 million in money. If not for this grant money, the village would have had to budget for these expenses, or the fire department would have gone without the new equipment. Chief Ziegle has left a legacy within the department that may never be replicated. Bruce is a true Park Forester in every sense. He grew up here, he lived here, and he served his community here. He is well deserving of this honor. From all of us at the fire department, thank you, Chief Ziegle.
My name is Bruce Ziegle. I'm the retired fire chief from the village of Park Forest. I spent 40 years in service of the citizens in Park Forest, and it is my pleasure to have been the opportunity to be introduced into the Park Forest Historical Society's Hall of Fame. I join many honorees and key park foresters in this great honor. I have spent my time in the fire service trying to make life better for both the firefighters and the citizens of Park Forest. It is my pleasure to have provided this service with everything from responding to emergencies to providing public education and code enforcement. I hope that in the years to come, the department will continue to have the same high standards that we all tried to set for. In that time, I worked with many, many great people in the Park Forest Fire Department, and I assure you that they will continue to be great for your citizens.
Thank you for watching our induction. We hope you enjoyed hearing the wonderful contributions of our inductees. We thank them and all of our many inductees through the years for making Park Forest such a special place to live. The Hall of Fame members are honored on plaques currently kept in the museum, and their stories told briefly in a booklet we hand out each year. Both are still in progress this year, but will be available soon. Our ceremony usually takes place in the spring at Freedom Hall. After having to cancel possible dates 3 times, this year we have filmed this on October 16th, 2020. Nomination forms for next year will be available soon, and they must be used to make a nomination. Nominations will be accepted through December 31st. Look to your left and look to your right. Someone near you could be nominated for next year. Stay safe.